Hello students and welcome back to the video lecture series of web programming. Today's topic is exception handling. I am your instructor Ms. Shruti Rawal. So let us start with the basics of what do you mean by an exception. Now in the normal flow of program there are hundreds of data input that people will do, right? So in many cases it will happen that the normal flow of code execution is working correctly, but there is some sort of data input which generates an error in this normal flow of execution. That is known as exception, and you have to handle this exception, right? So in normal language also we say that almost all people are having the basic human characteristic, but exceptions are there. It means normally everybody is human, but there are certain person who are exception and they do not follow this normal behavior. That means that is exactly the meaning in our case also. Exception means that for all the data our code is working perfectly, but for some of the input it is a possibility that error may be generated, and for that particular input you have to handle your code such that user is not suffered. That means your code execution should not be stopped in this unnatural circumstances where your input is generating an error. So exception handling is used to change the normal flow of the code execution if a specified error, because we know that in which cases or in which circumstances errors are getting generated. You have to write the code for that particular circumstances, and the conditions you specify for that is known as exceptional handling. Now what happens when an exception is triggered and you have actually implemented the exception handling? Here you can see that when you have done exceptional handling, as soon as the exception is triggered, your current code state is saved. Means all the thing that has been in the execution, that state has been saved. The code execution will switch to a predefined exception handler function. So basically I have to write an exception handler function. I have to do a code in such a way that as soon as that error is encountered, my code will be switched to that particular function, and depending on the situation, whatever I have written in the handler, it may either resume the execution from the saved state, or it may terminate the script execution, or it may switch to some different location in the code and start the execution from that location. Getting an idea? So it is upon the developer what he or she wants to do when an exception occurs. The only thing we don't want to do is abnormal behavior by your software due to some unexpected error, right? Now whenever exceptional handling comes into picture in any language, not only in PHP, you might have learned that in C++, you might have learned that in Java as well. The basic functionalities that we perform are try, throw and catch. Now what do you mean by try, throw and catch? Because we need to properly execute this exceptional handling, we can include these keywords and they are known as block of codes. It means the first one is try. Now basically a function that you know that it may be a possibility that there can be an exception while running this function, that function should be returned inside the try block. If the exception does not trigger, the code will continue normally as it should be. However, if there is an exception which is triggering, then it should throw an exception, right? So it is a possibility that there is an exception and you have to throw that exception. Now there comes the throw in your picture. Now throw means you are throwing a particular exception, and every throw has a particular catch. So if you are throwing 2 exception, there will be 2 catch block, right? If you are throwing 3 throw exception, there will be 3 catch block. For every throwing of exception, there will be a particular catch block. So now what is a catch block? Basically, catch block catches or retrieves the exception and creates an object containing the exception information. So it will basically decide what should we do after the exception is triggered. So now let us see the basic format in which this try, throw and catch will work. So here you can see there are 2 blocks. Basically the first one is try block and the second one is catch block. So inside the try block, this is the dummy data. We will see an actual program of exceptional handling in which we will write the actual data. But for current scenario, let us understand what is the format. In try block, we will try to write the function or the code which may generate an exception. So all the code in which you want to perform exceptional handling, that functions should be written inside the try block. So for example, there is a message or a function which for always throw this error. Now this is a code which might throw an exception. I have stored this inside a variable $error. Now because it is throwing an exception, what you will write? You will write a throw and you are creating new exception, and inside that you are passing this $error. Basically this is one of the exception object that you are creating, and $error is part of that particular error. Now this is a code which will never be executed if your exception is thrown, but for a thrown exception there should be a catch that will be catching this exception and printing a message or executing it from somewhere else, whatever you want to execute. So after the try block is completed, you are writing catch. Inside that you have to pass exception and you have to create a variable. Whatever name you want to give, you can give over here. I have given $E, right? Inside that, what have I written? For this exception, if it is triggered, I am catching the exception and I am writing caught exception, and I am basically concatenating a message via this exception, that what is the exception that has been triggered, and that I am writing using get message method. So these are basically this is a method that is being called, this is a function that is being called for printing the message. What message will be print? The message that you have passed in your throw, that will be printed over here, right? Also, after this catch block is executed, in this catch block you can specify the message, you can specify the new location where you want to start your program, etc. And after this catch you can just continue the execution of your program as it is. Okay, so this is how try, throw and catch works. So whatever error function you are writing which may produce an exception, you are writing into the try block. You throw an exception, that is you trigger an exception. For after triggering this exception, you have to catch this exception, print a message, and after catch whatever is written, that code is continued as it is, right? Now what is this? These are basically the different functions you can call. The first that I have called over here, that you have already seen get message. Basically it returns a string of describing why the exception was thrown. So whatever message you are passing in throw, that will be printed over here. Get previous, it means if this exception was triggered by some another one, then this method returns the previous exception. If not, it will return null. The next is get code, it returns the exception code. Get file, it will return the full path of the file in which the exception was thrown. Get line, it will return the line number on which the exception was thrown. So these are the functions that you may use while catching the exception. If you want to display perfectly what was the line, what was the file, or what was the message, right? Now let us see one program in which we will try to throw an exception and handle it. This is a program in which we will tried to do exception handling. So this is a very famous example. You know that you cannot divide any number by 0. If you divide it by 0, if you try to divide it by 0, the answer is infinity. So you have to handle an exception when you are performing such type of calculation, that is you are dividing two numbers. So you can see over here I have created a function called divide. Inside that I have passed two parameters, dividend and divisor. So dividend is basically when the denominator, that is the divisor, is 0, you have to handle this sort of exception. So inside the if condition I have written that if $divisor is equal to 0, then you have to throw a new exception, and inside this I have passed the message division by 0. So you can see that I have written throw over here. It means as soon as the divisor is 0, I am throwing a new exception, and inside that exception I am passing the message division by 0, right? If this code is called, when will this code will be called? When your divisor is 0. If this condition is not true, then it is okay, and you will be returning what? $dividend divide by $divisor. So this is your normal flow which will be returned if this exception condition is not true. Now inside the try block I am trying to create first let us call a normal function, right? So here I have written inside this try I am trying to call the function divide, and inside divide I have passed two numbers 5 and 3. So here you can see that the divisor is not 0, it is 3. So this condition will not be true. So this exception will not be thrown, and it will not go into the catch block also, right? So let us run this program and see what is the output. So exceptional handling, okay. So here you can see I am returning whatever the division value is, and the last statement is being executed finally. So in all the languages you know that irrespective of anything, whether the exception is occurred or not, this finally block will execute. So in finally I have written process complete. So I am getting process complete, and I am having this value, that is 1 point whatever value it is at, right? Now instead of this echo divide 5 3, let us call a function and pass the values in which the exception will occur. So explicitly I am trying to input a data in this function which will trigger the exception, and it will be have to handle. So here you can see that I am calling the function divide, and I am passing in divisor 0. So I am passing 5 comma 0. So it means this condition will be true because divisor is 0. It will throw an exception. As soon as it throw the exception, it will go to the catch block, and inside the catch block you can see that I have returned the message you cannot divide the number with 0, and along with this string I have concatenated get message function, that is $e arrow, and I have called the function get message. Now this get message function will get the message from this exception whatever you have thrown, that is I will be getting division by 0. Let us run this program and see what am I getting. So I am again reloading this page and clicking on it. Yes, here you can see, let me increase the font size. Here you can see that I am getting two messages. The first is the static string, you cannot divide the number with 0. This was the thing that I have displayed in echo. Then I have concatenated using this exception object. I have called the get message function, and get message basically gets the message which you have returned inside this through exception object, and that was division by 0. That was the message that I have displayed over here. Also I told you that finally block is executed irrespective of the exception. So if the exception is triggered, then also finally will be executed. If the exception is not triggered, then also finally will be executed. So finally is executed and I am getting this statement, that is process complete. Okay, so this was all about what do you mean by exception, how to do exception handling, what is try, throw and catch in PHP, and how to use this get message in PHP. You can try another functions like get file and all the functions that I have discussed in this lecture by your own. Okay, so this was all about today's lecture. Thank you.